Y'all come on back in here. Y'all come on back in here. You see Mama Red was getting into that read, honey. And the enemy was trying to be busy, baby, but I'm back. Okay, you can't stop it, honey, period. We back, honey. We back. Y'all come on back up in here. Tag your friend. You are not gonna stop Mama Red's message. Instagram, get thee behind me. Because I'm gonna get this message out tonight, period. Okay, for all of those that are just now tuning in, Mama Red is doing a channeled message from spirit from my elevated ancestor, and she was our elevated ancestor Harriet Tubman, and she was getting us right. Okay, she was getting us right. I'm gonna go through a quick recap. I'm gonna wait for a few more of us to come in because as you know, Instagram just acted crazy and just put Mama Red off, honey. But we is back. Okay, we are back. Okay, if you are just now tuning in, Mama Red is doing a channeled message. We are doing a channeled mediumship with our elevated ancestor Harriet Tubman. Mama Red is tapping into the energetic field of the ancestral realm. Come with it, Mama. If you are just now tuning in, welcome. We are getting wisdom and insight because first, to know where you are going, you must, baby, know where you've been. Okay? Okay, honey. So we're going to tap back in with the our dear elevated ancestor, Harriet Tubman, honey. We have already asked a few questions, but since this is now starting me over, apparently, we are going to re-innovate some things that we have already asked. Mama Red has already said her prayers. Everything is blessed. Everything is protected. All right. If y'all are ready to get back into this reading, honey, hit us with some ones. Hit us with some hearts because you already know how Mama finna come. Period. I love you too, honey. I love you too. So all right. So, Mama Red was already in the mix of this reading and I was rudely cut off. So we're going to try to pick it up. I'm going to catch you up on where we are and then we're going to continue on in our reading, okay? I've already asked Harriet how she felt about the movie Harriet Tubman that was released last year. Her response was she did not like how they portrayed her relationship with her husband. Okay, a lot of things were illegitimate. A lot of things were not clear on her relationship with her husband. So a lot of those things were fiction around that. She does like how she was portrayed as her ability to lead, because she wants you to know that her energy was a leader energy. She had a leadership energy, a leading on her. She had a leading mantle. Okay. I have recently asked, how does she want people to, what does she want the people to know about her? Because, you know, when we're dealing with the ancestors, honey, we want to ask, what do you know? What do you want to be known for? What do you want people to know about you? Okay, because we deal with a lot of Hollywood. We deal with a lot of fantasy, honey, but we're going to go to the root. We're going to the source tonight. Okay. So let's continue on. I just briefly, caught you up on what was going on, honey. Okay, so she wanted you to know about her energy, about her spirit, because we're asking for wisdom and insight. We want to know about the ancestors. What y'all got to talk about? What y'all want to say? Okay, she wanted you to know that her energy never accepted being a slave. She always rejected that. Her energy never accepted being in slavery. So as her spirit is speaking, she's saying she never received that energy that they tried to shackle her spirit. Her spirit was never in slavery. Even though her body was, her spirit would not allow it to be impoverished in slavery. That's how she was able to lead, because everyone else's spirit had been broken. Okay? People's spirit has been broken. while in slavery. So that's how she could not be broken, because she never accepted slavery as her portion in life, honey. Okay. Okay. She's saying certain things will not apply to you if you do not receive it. You understand what mama trying to tell you, baby? You understand what I'm saying? If you do not receive certain things in your life, it's like it's not there. So some of us, she's also saying that some of you all need to reject certain mind frames that have been projected on you. Who told you that you was a slave is what I'm hearing. Who told you that? Who put that in your mind? Who put that in your spirit that you were subpar? Because she rejected that. Don't accept anything less than the goodness of God is what I'm hearing. A lot of people don't know that her energy, she was very religious. She was very, and she had a very unique relationship with God. Honestly. I'm going to go more into that. But just to let you know, don't receive things that try to push you down and hold you down. Okay? She also wanted us to know that she did have a staff. She had an actual stick that she would walk with, similar to a walking cane. So her energy of being a Moses is very correct. She does want you to know that her name Moses was correct. So they did call her Moses. She had a staff that she would walk with that would lead her through the wilderness. Do you understand what Mama Red is trying to tell you? Ooh, ooh, honey, the energy is so strong. The energy is so strong in here right now. She had a staff, baby, that she would use that would get her through the wilderness, get her through the woods, that was actually blessed. I'm hearing that this staff was made of something oak, maybe an oak branch, oak staff. It was a very hard old tree that was broken down, that she found this staff was actually given to her. So I'm hearing that it was actually maybe some type of oak tree that she used to guide her. This was divinely placed in her hand. I'm also hearing that she wants us to know about her that she didn't take no shit. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Her energy is very resilient. Okay? Okay? Ancestors want us to know at this moment that Harriet's energy was very resilient. And her energy is a part of all of us. We just have to reach down and grip those sparks of flames that we have in our spirit. Because all this is, we are all connected. So she wanted you to know she did not play around. She was very religious, very into God. She had a very unique relationship with God and with spirit that would help her and guide her to where she had to go. Her spirit was very strong, honey. Strong. This is strength. This is a black woman, baby. Understand, the black woman. We are strong, honey. No disrespect to nobody else, baby, but we're going to call us for what we are. She wants black women to know, melanated women to know, baby, you are strong. You have strength. Strength. So she dug down deep to find her strength because she never received herself as being a slave. Okay? She never received herself to being a slave, honey. She wants us to also know that she could have helped more people if that quote that we have known her to say, I am hearing in my right ear, that That was correct. She could have freed more people if they had known themselves that they were slaves, honey. A lot of people didn't know and they just accepted it. But she could have freed more people if they would have opened their mind to reject the idea of being a slave. Understand me, baby? She's saying that she could have helped more people had they known to reject the idea of being enslaved and being in poverty and being enslaved. None of us were created to be a subservient servant to anyone. Okay? So even into this day, her energy, I'm feeling like her energy to melanated people is to reject being held down and imprisoned. Okay? She was also really blessed in her, she also wants you to know that she was blessed. So she actually had an anointing on her life, that allowed her to do certain things because of her trust in God and her trust in that God would set his people free. Okay? So this is what she wants us to know about her. She was strong. Don't play with her. Don't play with her. She was not weak. She was not a weak woman. I'm also hearing that she carried a gun. And some type of knife. I'm hearing some type of knife that she carried with her while she was traveling, honey. Okay? For all of those that are tapping in, we are channeling the energy of Harriet Tubman tonight as an ancestral wisdom, as ancestral insights. Okay? Okay? She wants women to know that you need to protect yourself. We are not protected out here. So therefore, you must pick up your own staff and lead your own self out of certain predicaments, honey. Understand this. Understand this from the ancestral realm at this moment. Okay? We have to protect ourselves, honey. Go get you a knife, baby. Go get you a gun. She believed in protecting herself as a woman because people would try you. People tried Harriet. Harriet had bodies. I'm seeing her take out people. Woo! Woo! The energy is so strong in here. That's why you have to be careful doing readings, honey. Because the energy is real. Harriet had bodies. Okay? That she took out. That if you crossed her, she would take you out. Understand that. Even her own people. There were some that she had to take out. That walked amongst her who was not with her. Woo! Her spirit is saying it's those that walk amongst us that are not with us. And we need to weed them out. Weed them out. Everyone who walked and started with you will not finish with you, baby. Her spirit is very, very adamant about there. There are ones that walk with you that are not with you. Weed they ass out. You get them out your circle. You put spotlight on them. And honey, if you got to take them out, you got to take them out. Ashe. She would take out her own people because her own people was one of those who would try to conspire against her. This is the universal message for those that are watching. Her spirit is saying there are people who would try to be in your circle, who will conspire against you. And everybody who walk with you is not going to your destination. Take their ass out. Holla. Harriet had bodies. Understand me. More than one. More than one. Okay? Harriet, what is your message to women of color? What would you like women of color to know in these days in 2020? Y'all know Mama Red don't play, baby. Y'all think Mama Red is for joke, baby? You go find you somebody else to play with, because Mama gonna tell it like it is. All right? All right, baby? Look, and still love you tomorrow, but gonna tell you like it is tonight. What message do you have for melanated women, Harriet Tubman? Our elevated ancestor, thank you so much for coming through. What message do you have for melanated women of color in the United States of America? What message do you have for melanated people, melanated women? Woo, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Her energy is saying that melanated women of color, we need to learn how to move in our power. A lot of us get stuck when it's time to make decisions. She did not allow herself to get stuck on decisions. She was very decisive. She knew what she wanted. She's speaking to black women and women of color to say that you need to make a decision. You need to make your decision. You waver too much in your power. You give too much of your power back because you don't know what way you want to go. You don't know what direction you want to go, woman of color. Which way do you want to go, baby? You stall on your decisions and you cut your eyes out because some of us do not want to see certain things, and therefore we don't make any decision. But she's saying that for us as women of color, for us to elevate, because life is about elevation, you need to walk in your power. No more deciding, no more wishy-washy shit. Come with it, mama. Come with it. Come with it. She's saying, women, we need to stand in our power. No more back and forth. Make your decision and make your path clear. Your path will become illuminated. Whoop. Your path will become illuminated once you learn how to make decisions, baby. Come on, mama. Come on. This is for women of color. Learn to stand in your power. Your path will be illuminated once you start to make decisions. Yes, ma'am. She's saying a lot of women of color, we have a lot of gifts. We have a lot of gifts. But we allow too many people to eat at our table. We allow too many people to eat at our table of our hard-earned work that we have put into the universe. We allow too many people to come and eat our labors. We put too much. We're very giving and very loving, but we feed too many spirits that do not feed us back, baby. Understand, this is the channeled message from the ancestral realm of Harriet Tubman speaking to women of color at this time. We allow too many people to put their feet underneath our table and to eat in our table. Yes, Lord. You understand what I'm saying? God said, I will prepare a table in the midst of your enemies. He didn't say they was going to eat at the table with you, sis. Ooh, Lord. Ooh. Ooh. You allow too many people to eat of your labors. I'm also hearing that her spirit is saying that she wouldn't even feed grown men. Grown men who traveled with her would have to go and find their own food. Yes, auntie. She wouldn't even feed men. You would have to go and find your own method of food. But you were traveling with her on the Underground Railroad as a man. Okay? As a man, men had to provide their own food. She would not feed you if you was traveling with her on the Underground Railroad as a man. Understand me now? She is happy that women of color are doing well, dominating in certain fields financially. But she's saying that her spirit is saying we have a lot of soft spots for our men, and that's okay. But let a man be a man. Let a man be a man. Too many of us women are babying these men. She didn't go for that. She actually changed her mind about relationships when she went back to free her husband. And he didn't want to go. He was okay with being in slavery. So he was okay with that mindset. So when she saw that her heart and her relationships could be her demise, because she's saying that she actually risked it all. She risked it all to go back to free a man that she loved. She loved her husband. She loved him. Understand me? She loved him. And she could have been murdered, brutalized, tortured if they were to find her. But she let her heart get in the mix of her journey. So watch your feelings towards men, because sometimes your feelings can get you messed up, women. Understand where she's coming from. Understand where Auntie Harriet is coming from at this moment. We're not discouraging the man, and we're not talking down about the man, but you must know your direction first. And free yourself. Free yourself. This is some deep stuff that Mama Red is saying, baby. I don't know if you can receive it or not, baby. I don't know if you can receive it or not, but Mama is talking to somebody. If this word be for you, let it be for you, baby. Everybody can't receive what Mama Red is saying, because Mama Red is too real. Honey, I only want the realness around me, because there's too much fakes out here. Woo, yes. Harriet, show me, how did you communicate with God on your journey? Harriet, how did you communicate with God on your journey, Harriet Tubman? Talk to Mama. Talk to Mama. Baby, Mama ain't everybody's cup of tea. Mama ain't everybody's glass of Patron, honey. Okay? Because Mama Red give it to you, Mama Red give it to you straight. Mama Red give it to you straight and no chases, baby. This is a good word tonight, honey. Okay? Show me, Harriet, how did you communicate with God? How did you communicate with God? How was your communication? Because she had a unique relationship with God. How did you communicate with him? Yes. Wow. 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 Y'all ready? Y'all ready? I'm here for this, Auntie Harriet. I'm here for this. I'm honored to be a vessel for the ancestors. I'm honored. She's saying that she communicated with God through spirit. She had a very spiritual relationship with God. And she was not afraid to bring vengeance, because God is also a vengeful God. She tapped into her spiritual nature. And I am hearing that there were episodes where she would blink out and be in visions. So this would be her energy lying and receiving messages from the ancestors, receiving messages from God himself that spoke directly into her spirit while she was in the wilderness, and times that she would go off from the people that she was with, from the people that she was leading, the people that she was guiding. She would separate herself to go and meditate. Her spirit is saying some of us cannot hear from God in these days and times because we don't know how to separate ourselves. Woo! We don't know how to separate ourselves from the crowd and come back in. Those that have leadership abilities, learn to separate yourself from the crowd. It was almost like God actually was holding her hand and guiding her and pulling her. I'm feeling a ushering. Like, no, not this way, this way. Like guiding her. Okay? Guiding her, like literally holding her hand. Come on, baby, let's go this way, this way, this way. She will be led. I'm feeling my arm being extended because she would be led, like divinely led. Amen. I received that. She would be led, especially coming out of these visions. I'm also hearing that there was someone who did teach her something along the way. I'm hearing that it could possibly have been maybe a pastor of a church who actually helped her being led or gave her something. I'm hearing the pastor of the church gave her some type of covering as well. Some type of covering that she had that was placed on her as well. They would pray for her in some of these places, because a lot of y'all don't know the old saints believed in prayer, honey. Woo! Prayer changes things, honey. So they would pray for her in certain stops along the Underground Railroad. She will actually hear. She would hear, like Mama Red, I'm clairaudient. So she would hear spirit speaking to her, right into her spirit. It's beautiful, 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 beautiful connection that she had to the God energy, to source. She said a lot of you need to open up your communication. Don't be afraid to meditate. A lot of y'all be like, Mama Red, I can't meditate. I can't sit still. But you need to quiet your thoughts so that the word of God, the ancestors, can speak directly to your spirit. Understand me? She was led because she knew how to be quiet and receive. Amen? She knew how to receive, and she knew how to meditate on the word of God. She was very religious. She did not play, honey. God had his hand on her life. That is so beautiful. Let's see. What advice can you offer the people today? The people of color, melanated people. Nothing against any other races, but we just want to speak to the ancestors to see what they got for us, baby. Some of us have been forgotten. We just want to know what the ancestors got for us, honey, as a people, baby. Understand me? Okay? If you are enjoying this channeled message tonight, hit Mama with some hearts. Hit me with some 111s. Hit me with some feedback, baby. You know how this works, honey. We need to speak directly to our ancestral spirits because they are not far from us. Okay? They don't want us to know about certain energies. They want to suppress certain energies. But the ancestors will not be suppressed. In their last lifetime, they were suppressed. But in this elevated state where they have crossed on, they will not be suppressed, baby. You ain't going to shut them down. You ain't going to shut them up. They're going to speak, okay? This is a good word tonight from good Sister Harriet. Yes, Auntie Harriet, yes. What words do you have? What message do you have for us as melanated people? She's saying that know when is your time to leave. Know when is your time to exit a situation. Know where you are no longer wanted and exile and leave that situation. Okay? Energy is very strong in here. Know when it's time for you to exit. Know when it's time for you to leave. Know when you are not wanted. And make your exit expeditiously. Know when to leave. I'm also hearing that she's saying that we need to learn how to plan things according to the seasons again. Back in the day, there was a farmer's almanac, I believe it's called, a farmer's almanac. The little book where it told you seasons and how to plant certain seeds and what seeds and crops will come up. It's a farmer's almanac. How many of you grew up with your grandparents and you saw your grandma with the farmer's book? Y'all know that book I'm talking about. And it'll tell you what seasons and what the moon phases were. Almanac. There we go. The almanac. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know what Mama talking about. I'm seeing her say that some of us need to go back to planning things according to how they would be fertilized. Certain things in our lives will rotate better if we learn to plan according to that farmer's almanac, that book. Some of us need to grab one of those if you see it in the stores. A lot of them don't sell these books anymore, baby. This is some old school stuff that's coming through for Mama. You understand what I'm saying? She's saying some of us would do better if we learn to plan our lives according to the seasons of the moon as well. Okay, baby? Even as women, plan your life and plan certain events around moon cycles. Because a lot of us thought she just went back and forth reckless. No, she planned certain things according to what that book would tell her. Not the book, but the actual phases. Okay? She wants us to know as well, choose your mate. Choose your mate wisely. Because if you are out here and you're trying to do certain things, certain relationships that you have can actually be a detriment to you. That's why she never was married. I don't believe she ever had children. So for those who, women who are not married, and for those who don't have children, don't feel no type of way. Don't feel no type of way, honey. Okay? Don't feel no type of way. Okay? Let's see. Auntie Harriet. Her energy is so strong. Honey, I'm going to have to take a nap after this channel because I am just like, whoop. I can barely even sit here, honey. Woo, the energy is so strong. Y'all pray for Mama Red to get through this reading, honey. Amen. Ashe, Abobo. Auntie Harriet, are you proud of us? Are you proud of us? Are you proud of us, Auntie Harriet? I hope that I can save this reading so that we can go back to watch this later on, because this is indeed a treat, honey. Auntie Harriet, are you proud of us? Mm-hmm. Auntie Harriet, are you proud of us? She is very, her spirit is very saddened by the amount of, blood that has been shed in the country of, African American descent. I'm not gonna lie. Their spirits, the ancestors actually weep. They actually weep for us in certain areas that we live in. Because a lot of us know someone who was a victim to some type of crime. They weep for us. Her spirit is saying we also do have a long way to go. Even though we have made good strides. We have made strides, but we are not even where we're supposed to be. Okay? Whew. They actually cry for us. I'm tearing up myself. They actually really cry for us. They want us to know that we need to balance our lives better. We need to balance our lives better. We need to get more into our spirituality. And even though we have to balance certain things, we need to not forget about our spirituality. We don't need to forget about the ones that came before us. I'm also hearing her say that a couple of us that have children, our children are coming back as ancestors. Our ancestors are being born through children. So I'm hearing her spirit saying that some of us need to listen to our kids. Some of us think, oh, my child, she says things that's beyond her years. Or my son, he says things that's beyond his years. I don't even know where he gets his wisdom from, baby. It's because your ancestors are being regenerated through your children. Okay? Okay? Sit and talk to your kids sometimes. Some of us need to understand that our ancestors are being regenerated through our children. Sit and talk to your kids. Some of them have messages for you. Okay? Okay? Sit and talk to your kids. They have messages for you. Okay? Let's see. What advice can you give men Harriet Tubman? Auntie Harriet, what advice would you like to give to men? What advice would you like to give to men, honey? Auntie Harriet, what advice would you like to give to men? Speak, speak, speak. What advice can we give to the men, Auntie Harriet? What advice can you give to the men? I'm hearing her energy speaking loudly, saying that they need to rise. They need to rise up. They need to they need to understand that they are the sun. They need to rise up and actually stand in their power, their full vigor. She doesn't understand why men aren't standing. Why aren't you standing? Men, why aren't you standing? What's up? Why aren't you leading? Why aren't you leading? She also wants the men to know that it's okay to listen to the women. If you are not spiritually inclined as a man and you have a woman who is spiritually inclined, don't protect her and help her. Because a lot of women lead spiritually. Okay? A lot of women lead spiritually, and as a man, sometimes you may think it's your ego, where your ego is coming in the way. And it's like, I ain't got to listen to you. I don't want to listen to you. Too much disruption between men and women. That's also another message that Mama Red had a channeled message when she was reading for channeled Malcolm X. The black man and woman cannot come together. We cannot come together. A lot of us have been separated, and it's been spiritual warfare, physical warfare on our families because we do not know how to come together. Yeah, y'all men need to tap back into their sun energy, their leadership energy. Okay. How are y'all enjoying this channel message tonight? Do you have any other questions that Mama Red should ask our elevated ancestor, Harriet Tubman, while we are in the presence of the ancestral realm? We do not take this interaction lightly. Okay? We do not take this interaction lightly. I am honored to be a vessel that the ancestors can speak through in this time to help us, honey. Because we need help, baby. We need help. Okay? What advice do you have for melanated people in these next 4 years? What advice can you give melanated people for these next 4 years? Okay. What advice can you give us for these next 4 years, Auntie Harriet? Ha Damn. Damn. All right. It's deep. I'm feeling like her energy is saying that a lot of us, we're afraid to fight back. A lot of us are afraid to fight back, but we are going to have to start taking a stance some type of way. And if this stance is not taken, then there is some type of separation that needs to be required. I'm hearing that they're saying some type of stance because the enemy is busy. We're going to have to take up our weapons against the enemy. This is fighting the enemy. A lot of us need to take our weapons up. Not to say to go out here and get crazy, but there are, even if it's a spiritual weapon is what I'm hearing. It may not even have to be a physical weapon, honey. Take your spiritual weapon up. That's why we need to get back into our spirituality. Okay? Not just, certain books in the Bible are good. But there are certain books in the Bible where it speaks of warfare, where God trains your hand for war. Certain verses I'm hearing that we need to keep on our hearts and our minds that will keep us vigilant and keep us spiritually protected out here. Understand me, okay? 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 We have spiritual weapons of warfare that we need to start picking up. Okay? Let's see. We need to rise up. All right, Auntie Harriet, how can we overcome this? What message of overcome can you give us? Yeah, what message of overcome? What message can we use to overcome? All right. What message can you give us to overcome? Are y'all enjoying this reading tonight, honey? I know normally we get into our ratchet readings, honey, when we get into certain words, but the ancestors have really been pulling on my energy to help tell their story. They want to come through and help us. And we do not take this interaction lightly, okay? Let's ask, what message do you have for the youth of the nation? What message do you have for the youth, Auntie Harriet? What can you share with the youth? What can you share with the youth, Auntie Harriet, honey? Okay. What can you talk to the young people and say? She wants the youth to know that a lot of them don't listen to older people anymore. And that's a damn shame. They can't get wisdom because they don't listen to the older people no more. You can't tell them nothing. You can't talk to some of the young people. There's a disconnect between the older and younger generation. Okay? We cannot talk to the young people like they used to back in the day. A lot of us are afraid to talk to the young people. A lot of us are afraid of our youth. She's asking, why are we afraid of our youth? And that's our future. A lot of us are afraid to talk to some of these young people. You don't know what they're thinking. You don't know what they're going to do. You don't know if they're going to harm you. You're scared. A lot of us are afraid of our youth. But our youth are actually going to be the ones to rise up and to actually stop certain things from happening. A lot of the youth is going to actually be the ones to rise up if they can stop fighting each other. The young people, we can't talk to them. There is a major disconnect between the older and young generations, Auntie Harriet is saying. And we need to try to bridge that gap. The young kids are very hard-headed, I'm hearing her say. They do not listen. We can't build with the young because they don't listen to the old anymore. Woo! Woo, Auntie Harriet, come on now. Come on now. She's saying we can't build with them because they don't know how to listen. They don't know how to listen. And until we learn to bridge that gap between our youth and our elders, then it's gonna still be turmoil. It's gonna still be turmoil. A lot of youth are actually very hot-headed, and it's actually some of our ancestors being birthed and coming back through these youth. But they don't have any guidance, I'm hearing her spirit is saying. Auntie Harriet is coming through, honey. I love the ancestors. The ancestors be looking out for Mama Red, honey. Okay. I love the ancestor around. Honey, I trust the ancestors more than I trust real, regular people, honey, alive, honey. I trust the ancestors. Because they be telling it like it is, honey. Okay? I'm going to probably ask, maybe 1 or 2 more questions, and I'm going to close this reading out. This reading has been very draining for my spirit. So I'm going to be closing this connection real soon. I'm going to probably ask maybe 1 or 2 more questions. And then I'm going to be closing out so that I can go and recharge my spirit, honey. I'm seeing people ask, can we call on her for help? Auntie Harriet, are you available for those if they need help? She's saying that you can light a white candle for her. If you can ask her for guidance and insight. Her energy can be very to the point. So don't call on her if you don't really need help. She's saying you can call upon her. She will help you. So she's good if you need guidance and insight, like as far as a direction, because her energy is a reincarnated energy of Moses. So you can call on her. She's saying to help you through dark and troubling times. But don't call on her if you ain't ready for change and if you ain't ready to leave from one place and go to the next part of your life. Don't call on her. Yes, ma'am. Don't call on her for no BS. She ain't going for that. Don't call on her for that. You can elevate and send her light. Send her light. You can light a white candle for her, but do not ask her for help if you are not ready to leave your situation, honey, because she's going to cut you off. Do not call her to shoot the breeze. Do not call her to play with her, because she is not to be played with. You do not call upon her energy for mundane things, honey. She ain't with the foolishness. Period. So if you want to, you do not have to be in direct blood lineage, but we are connected through a spiritual ancestral lineage to her energy. All right? Yeah, she will help you. But it's not like you're going to call on her and play a game with her, because she ain't coming, because she ain't got time to play with y'all. Her energy is very straightforward. Very direct. She does not beat around the bush. Okay? Auntie Harriet Tubman, in closing, what message would you like us to know in closing? We have to respect our ancestors. Okay? They are not to be toyed and played with. Okay? That's why some of us is messed up right now, honey, because we do not respect the ancestors, honey. Okay? That's why some of us is messed up right now, because you do not respect your ancestors. They are not to be played with, baby. Okay? Let's see. Auntie Harriet, a message in closing. What you want us to know in closing tonight? What would you like them to know in closing tonight, Auntie Harriet? I am feeling a very fiery energy from Auntie Harriet. She could have possibly been a Aries, a Sagittarius, or a Leo. She is I'm feeling her sign could possibly have been a fire sign. If she wasn't a fire sign directly, then she had a lot of placements in fire energy. Okay? 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 So do not play with the ancestors. They are not to be toyed or played with. Okay? Auntie Harriet, what is your closing message for the people? Give us a message of inspiration and encouragement in closing. Thank you all. Thank you all who are still here watching. She's saying, know who you are walking with on the road to life. Okay. Know who you're walking with on the road to life. A lot of us are saying that she was born in March. Mama Red is going to say that she is an Aries. I'm feeling that Aryan energy because I'm an Aries. I don't play either, baby. Okay. So I relate to fire energy. But she is saying that we need to watch who we walk with. Choose our mates also. Because everyone who starts with us are not going to end with us. Okay? A lot of us who start walking with us are not going to end with us. They're not going to end on the same path that you are on. Know when to separate when your path separates. Learn when to cut off and distance yourself, baby, from those when your path are no longer walking with them. Because she had the discernment to cut your ass off if you was walking with her and you weren't going the way she was going. Baby, she would cut you off at the root as soon as she got the indication that you was no longer with her. Also, we need to know when we are no longer wanted. That could be in a land that we stay in. That could be in the job that you work in. That could be in relationships. Know when you are wanted and know when you are no longer wanted. And walk away. She wants you to know also to take pride in your heritage. Take pride in your people. Take pride in those who have come before you. Because they have paved the way for you. Even though history don't want to talk about certain ancestors no more. History do not want history wants to erase some parts of our history. But they want us to know, her spirit wants us to know that our people were very triumphant in certain areas of life, honey. Okay? Know that there are going to be some sad days to come. There will be more dark days to come. Also, try to mend your family. There's too much division in our families. Mothers against daughters. Fathers against sons. Too much division in our families. We got to get it together. We got to get it together. Also, know when to send certain people away from you. Once people have worn out their welcome, learn to send their ass away. She did not entertain certain things after the relationship or certain things have expired. So certain relationships in your life have been expired. Certain people have been ready to exit your life. Let them go. Let them go. Because some energies ain't doing nothing but holding you back, baby. She was not to be held back. She will send you on your way. And don't care how you feel about it. Okay? Some of us also need to start spending more time with our grandmothers. Spending more time with our great-grandmothers. We got Big Mama here. A lot of us need to go back to how some of our grandmas did something. I know it's out of date. She's saying she knows it's out of date. She knows it's old school. She knows it's in 2020. We know that. But it's certain things that your grandmother have taught you. Certain things that the good saints, the good mothers of the church, the good aunties, Big Mama on Sunday. It's certain things that we need to go back to. Certain ways that grandma did certain things. If you are still blessed to have your mom or your grandmother with you, spend time with her. Okay? Spend time with Big Mama. Talk to her. Talk about the old times. Talk about the good days. Because a lot of us have disconnected ourselves from our ancestral wisdom. That's because a lot of us feel like we know too much. A lot of us feel like we know every damn thing, is what she's saying. A lot of us feel like you can't be talked to because times is different. Yes, times is different, but the wisdom don't change. Woo! The wisdom don't change that your ancestors had for you. Some of us need to go back, even if your grandmother is no longer with you. Go back and look at her photos. Go back and think of the sayings that she used to say. Go back and think of the food that she used to cook. Go back and think of the church hats that your grandma used to wear in church. Oh, Lord. Come through, ancestors. Come through. The wisdom don't change, baby. She's saying we need to go back to our roots, to our grandmothers. To the women, to the strong women, the saints. Okay? Even though this is 2020, we understand that. Ancestors are saying that they understand we are no longer in these days. We are no longer in these times. But the wisdom of our ancestors, the wisdom of those older women in particular who poured into you, that doesn't change. Okay? That's a beautiful message. A lot of us also, she's also saying to go back and talk or meditate on your grandmother. If she's no longer with you, sit and just think about her. Sit and think about her. Because I'm hearing that there's still some keys of knowledge that her energy, just to think about her energy, it can still drop into your spirit, baby. Don't get too old to the point where you can't go back to your grandma or your great grandma, honey. Those prayers that those older saints, those older women of the church, they worked, honey. They still working on you. Okay? I'm hearing some of the prayers of your grandmothers, of your ancestors. I'm hearing praying grandmas. The praying grandmas, honey, is still covering you. And some of us are gotten too old, or we've outgrown that now, and that's fine. But, honey, do not outgrow your wisdom. Their wisdom are still with us, honey. Woo, the wisdom is still with us, honey, okay? Grandma's hands, honey, okay? So this has been your channel message from the ancestral realm. I'm your oracle, Big Mama Red, baby. You can book your reading with me on my site, vibesofmamared.com. If you have enjoyed this reading tonight, make sure you share it. Make sure you tell your friends, tag your friends, tell your friends about Mama Red, honey, because Mama Red is straight no chaser. So thank you for your spirits. Thank you for your time, honey. Okay? Mama is going to get up off again. I hope you have a wonderful night.